Look, if you build websites, design interfaces, or honestly do anything on the front end, you already know the absolute nightmare of reverse engineering a competitor's landing page. You see a sick hero section, a perfect button gradient, or a really smooth animation, and suddenly you're losing 20 minutes of your life digging through Chrome DevTools just trying to find one hex code. You think this is just another basic eyedropper tool? It's actually not. It's honestly something that might replace like 2 or 3 different subscriptions you're paying for right now. I've been using this Chrome extension called MiroMiro for the past week, and it's kind of blowing my mind. I'm going to show you exactly how it exports full website sections straight into code. But there's one catch with how it handles complex layouts, and I'll get to that. If you want to follow along and try it out while I talk, click the link in the description right now to grab the free version of MiroMiro. All right, let's talk about subscription fatigue, because I am so tired of it. If you're paying for tools you barely use, this is for you. Every freelancer, solopreneur, and creator is just bleeding money every month. You've got your Figma subscription, your Webflow or Framer hosting. Maybe you pay for a premium CSS inspector like CSS Peeper, maybe another tool to download SVGs, another to check WCAG accessibility contrast. It's exhausting. And when you don't use paid tools, you're stuck with standard browser dev tools, which, let's be honest, are built for back-end engineers debugging JavaScript, not for designers or visual builders. Trying to extract a simple Lottie animation or figure out a site's exact tailwind spacing using the default inspector is a bloated, confusing mess. You're just clicking through deeply nested div blocks praying you find the right asset. It makes you feel stupid, honestly. I know it makes me feel stupid, but what if you didn't have to do that? What if you could just hover and take it? Let me just walk you through a real project I was working on yesterday. I had a client who wanted a specific style for their pricing table, something very clean, lots of subtle purples. I found an example site that had the exact vibe. Normally, I'd take a blurry screenshot, drop it in Figma, and spend 45 minutes recreating it. Instead, I opened the site and clicked the MiroMiro extension in my browser. Instantly, it enters inspector mode. I didn't have to open the developer console at all. I just hovered my mouse over their primary button. Instantly, a little tooltip popped up. It showed me the exact color. It was this really nice purple hex code A855F7. It showed me the font was Inter, 14 pixels, weight 500. But here's where it gets a little crazy. I didn't just want the button. I wanted the whole spacing system of that section. So I dragged my cursor to select the entire pricing block. I clicked Export to Code. I waited like 2 seconds, and it literally handed me the production-ready code. Clean CSS, no scavenger hunt. Wait, hold on. Did I just steal their code? Well, kinda, but we all borrow inspiration. The difference is, instead of manually typing out Tailwind classes for an hour, MiroMiro extracted the entire design token system. The purple 50 all the way to purple 900, the exact spacing, everything. And I just pasted it right into my project. Oh, and there was a really cool background vector image they were using. Websites usually try to hide those, right? They make it impossible to right-click and save. With MiroMiro, I just clicked the SVGs tab. It found 4 SVGs on the page. I selected them all and clicked Download. Done. High-quality vectors, not blurry JPEGs. So, how does this actually fit into your day-to-day? For me, the speed is the biggest thing. It just sits in Chrome. There's no bulky desktop app to load. You don't have to sign in every time. You just browse the web normally, and when you see something you like, you extract it. And the learning curve? There isn't one. If you know how to point and click a mouse, you know how to use this. You can even heart colors and icons to save them to your own personal library, which is a massive time saver. You know when you find that perfect shade of off-white and then lose the hex code the next day? Yeah, that doesn't happen anymore. Also, I have to mention the community trust around this thing. It's built by an indie dev, Soraya, and my Twitter timeline has been flooded with people talking about it. Real designers and agency owners. People are calling it DevTools on steroids. When you see that kind of organic hype from people who actually build for a living, you know it's solving a real, painful problem. All right, let's get into the honest pros and cons, because no tool is perfect, right? The pros. First, the export to code feature is the killer app here. Selecting a hero section and getting clean Tailwind or CSS instantly is basically magic. Second, the Lottie animation download. Stop asking developers for JSON files. You just find it, click, and export. Third, the built-in Accessibility Contrast Checker. You can scan a page and instantly see if your text-on-background ratio passes WCAG AA or AAA standards. It literally says pass or fail. That alone saves you from shipping designs that are going to get rejected by clients for accessibility issues. The cons. Okay, earlier I promised you a catch. Here it is. If a website is built with absolute garbage, spaghetti code. MiroMiro is going to export garbage spaghetti code. It's reading what's there. It's not an AI that magically fixes bad developer habits. Also, there are some minor UI quirks. On a few really complex, heavily animated WebGL sites, the inspector overlay got a little glitchy and it was hard to select the exact nested div I wanted. Who this is not for. If you are strictly a back-end developer dealing with databases, or if you exclusively use templates and never customize your UI, you don't need this. Save your money. But if you're a freelance web designer, a framer or webflow builder, or a front-end dev who hates wasting time, MiroMiro is an absolute no-brainer. It gives you back control over your time. Instead of feeling stressed out rebuilding things from scratch, you actually feel confident reverse engineering sites. Let's talk price. They have a completely free plan where you can inspect elements and extract up to 15 assets a month. No credit card required. But honestly, if you do this professionally, you're going to want the starter plan, which is roughly $10 a month. For $10, you get 150 extractions, unlimited contrast audits, and 20 design system exports. It will literally pay for itself on your first client job in the time you save. If you run an agency, they have a pro plan for roughly $20 a month with basically unlimited everything and priority support. I'm dropping a link right below the like button. Grab it through my link in the show notes. It helps support the pod and keeps these reviews completely honest. Stop digging through DevTools. Get your afternoon back. Let me know in the comments what site you're going to inspect first. I'll see you in the next one.